Hey there, book lovers! Welcome back to another episode of Booklicious, your favorite stop for everything fiction, fierce characters, and unforgettable plot twists. I'm your host, and today we're diving into a psychological thriller that's packed with secrets, suspense, and a haunting past that refuses to stay buried. Yep, we're talking about Someone Knows by V. Keeland, a name you might recognize from her wildly popular romance novels. But in this story, Keeland takes a sharp turn into darker, twistier territory. And trust me, it works. So, let's crack open this book and talk about why Someone Knows just might be your next binge-worthy read. Our main character is Elizabeth Davis, a successful English professor in New York known for teaching creative writing with passion. Her life seems steady until a student named Hannah Greer submits the first chapter of a novel titled The Reckoning. Sounds normal, right? Well, not quite. This chapter mirrors a traumatic event from Elizabeth's own past, a past she's worked hard to forget. It recounts a high school teacher-student relationship that ends in murder. The shock? It's not fiction. It's the real-life nightmare Elizabeth lived through decades ago in her hometown of Louisiana. And suddenly, Elizabeth's carefully constructed world starts to unravel. As Elizabeth digs deeper, paranoia takes over. Who knew her past? Who's trying to expose her? She doesn't know who to trust. Not her current lover, who's a detective, not her estranged childhood friend Ivy, not even her missing best friend Jocelyn. Oh, and let's not forget about Noah Sawyer, the son of the man Elizabeth killed. Yes, you heard that right. The story shifts between the present and the past, adding layers of tension, guilt, and uncertainty. You're constantly left guessing who's telling the truth, who's hiding something, and what really happened that night so many years ago. Let's talk about Elizabeth. She's not your typical protagonist. She's strong, smart, but completely haunted. She's lived her life trying to bury the past, but trauma doesn't just disappear. What makes her compelling is the way she tries to hold everything together, her career, her relationship, her sanity, while the truth claws its way to the surface. Then there's her chemistry with Noah. It's magnetic and messy. After all, he's the son of the man she killed. That emotional complexity, that's what makes their relationship so captivating, even if it makes you a little uncomfortable. Now, if you're wondering whether V. Keeland's romance background hurts or helps this thriller, rest easy. Her experience actually shines here. The pacing is fast, the structure tight, and the tension is relentless. Every chapter ends with a hook, practically begging you to read just one more. Some reviewers did point out that a few twists felt familiar, like the flashbacks or Elizabeth's spiraling suspicion. But even with those elements, the writing keeps you locked in. And the way Keeland uses the fictional story within the story, that's Hannah's manuscript, adds a whole extra layer without veering into melodrama. Sure, it's a suspense novel, but at its core, Someone Knows is about survival. Keeland doesn't shy away from tough topics like grooming, abuse, and institutional failure. She shows us how small towns often close ranks instead of protecting the innocent. Through Elizabeth, she explores the psychological toll of trauma and how memory can fracture identity. And then there's the question of justice. Legal versus moral. Elizabeth's act may have been a crime, but was it wrong? And what if her mother's role in all of this is even more complicated? Yeah, things get intense. We can't skip over the romantic elements, right? Elizabeth and Noah's relationship is laced with emotion, tension, and, well, heat. Some scenes are steamy without getting explicit. If you've read Keeland before, you'll recognize her signature balance of spice and storytelling. Now, some readers felt the romance took attention away from the suspense. Others thought it was essential to Elizabeth's healing. Personally, I think it added depth. It made her human, flawed, and relatable. And now, without spoiling too much, let me just say, that final twist, it's a game changer. Elizabeth's mother, yes, her own mother, has been pulling strings behind the scenes. Her motivations? Equal parts love and revenge. It reframes the entire story and brings everything full circle. It's one of those reveals that hits hard and lingers long after you've closed the book. So, who is this book really for? If you love thrillers with messy pasts and even messier secrets, this is for you. If you're drawn to emotionally heavy, trauma-focused narratives, you'll feel seen. If you're a romance reader curious about thrillers, this one offers a perfect balance. But if you want your mysteries romance-free, or if complicated love stories aren't your thing, this might feel a bit off balance. Quick rundown before we wrap up. What worked? X, strong page-turning pace. X, rich, morally complex characters. X, honest exploration of trauma and guilt. And X, an ending that truly pays off. What didn't work as well? X, romance may overpower the mystery for some. X, a few predictable plot elements. And X, paranoia can feel repetitive mid-book. Someone Knows isn't just a successful genre jump for V. Keeland. It's an impactful story about what happens when the past collides with the present. It's bold, gripping, and yes, even emotional. Whether you're in it for the suspense or the complex relationships, this book will hold you tight and not let go. So, if you're looking for your next can't-put-it-down read, give Someone Knows a shot. You might just stay up all night with it. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode of Booklicious. If you like today's review, be sure to follow, rate, and share this podcast with your fellow bookworms. Have thoughts on Someone Knows? Drop me a message. I'd love to hear your take. Until next time, keep reading, keep feeling, and stay booklicious.